Okay, we said we were going to talk about inventory. Are you guys ready to jump to the next level?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the map for just a minute, and we're going to talk for just a second. So if this is our goal, inventory right here, okay, how are we going to get it there? Mark, what do you think? This is right in the heart of the application. How are we going to get something into this little spot?
Produce it.
Okay, awesome. That's called manufacturing.
Manufacture.
Okay, not a problem. So that could eventually come through. It's got, looks like it has some other little interface that it might have to go in order for it. You can't just get it there. It has to somehow be able to be recorded. This is our incoming inventory tool. Okay, it's called a PO or a purchase order or a production order.
Production order. I mean, I'm thinking manufacturing.
Yeah. So the way that you get things in is usually a PO has to be tied to a vendor. So here's the flow, okay? Vendor, PO, I'll get it into inventory, okay? This is the way we follow the flow every time. And if we're doing manufacturing, what we do is we still have a vendor, we still have a PO, and then we're mixing and blending pieces which eventually create our inventory. Or we might be pulling from inventory and adding, and like it kind of goes back and forth here if you're actually doing manufacturing. Okay, so these are the pieces that we're going to be playing with. What we do now is we need to go check to make sure we have some settings turned on, because I'll bet you some of us probably don't have PO settings, okay?
I definitely don't, because I already tried it.
Let's do this. Let's go home. Here's probably the easiest way to check. Come find the purchase order button and click on it. Sorry, you don't have the permissions to use, to view, use, or edit the page you are requesting. Okay. I'll walk you through where we're going to get these permissions. Are we all ready?
Users.
Okay, perfect. Madeline, you said go to users. Correct. Pick your name. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're probably going to want to check some of our quick search options, okay? Quick searches are one of the first things. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on quick search. And I'm going to look for anything that looks kind of part or PO related. Oh, I have POs turned on. You may or may not, I don't know.
How did you get to quick search?
Okay, there's a link at the top. You can literally just scroll down if you wanted to. I clicked on this and it actually drops me down.
System search is what you're calling quick search. Thank you.
Correct.
Okay.
So these categories, this might actually help explain like what's going on. I'm going to open up another tab really quick just so you can see something, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to right-click on one of them and say open in a new tab. Okay, so all of our permissions were originally designed to fit into the classic homepage. Okay, so right here where it says quick search, see how I have PO and invoice and some of these little things? Watch this right here. I'm switching back and forth. You don't have to do this right now.
Okay.
So if I come down here and I say, hey, I would actually like to add a couple more options, expense receipts and deposits. So I want to show you that they're not there right now, okay? If I come down to the bottom of this page and say edit, then I go back to my classic home page. Watch right over here, I'm actually adding some options, okay? Deposits and expenses, okay? So under System Basics, see how it's just these little links? See this one that says clock in and out? Watch this. If I come back here and I actually edit the same, my person again, and I go to System Basics, and I find the clock in and out one, and I disable it, and I'll go to the bottom and submit it. Right here, my clock in and out permission will disappear. Watch this. Okay, so every single thing is actually located according to the classic homepage, and it will dynamically build for you. So some people look at our permission like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But it literally was actually set up originally to feed that classic homepage. So that kind of helps. Like for instance, right here, I have a bunch of time clock stuff, but this is where my PO stuff would be in liabilities. This is the next thing that you guys are going to do. You guys are already in on yourselves. and we just did the quick search options, okay? So we scrolled down, we kind of got into the system search stuff. And we did PO. We made sure we had POs.
I got POs.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to find a thing called system liabilities.
So we should do POs and invoices, right?
Okay, are you talking on your searching options?
For what I'm supposed to click.
Yeah. So at the top,
System liabilities.
so I know that this looks long and you're like, oh my goodness, I just want to get there fast. So you have to realize this, you have over 100 permissions. What it does is it helps you dictate to the person who's using it where they get to play, okay? So if you only want them to do certain things, they get 5 of those 100 permissions. If you have somebody who has tons, you click off a bunch of them. Here's a warning. There are certain ones that you actually don't want to just go down and go click, 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 click. There are some negative permissions. So if you clicked a normal and an admin and then a negative permission, the negative permission will actually override those ones. And even though you have admin permission, you told it to do the negative one, which is like the view only or whatever. So, especially Silver. Silver has some reverse permissions, kind of like limitations, if you will. Okay. Silver is also kind of like specialty. There's a legend right here, like up towards the top. It kind of, they are color coded to kind of help you. I didn't realize I was so far down. Okay, here's the legend. Yellow, all, green, sales, blues are managers. It starts getting more and more closer to red as it gets more and more
So
active.
give me 2 examples of specialty then.
Okay, no problem. So watch this. I'm going to click on system time and request. Okay, here's a bunch of specialty pieces. Okay, so if I turn on basic elements of time, which is my calendar, and I also turn on view and comments
Okay.
and admin, guess which one's going to overrule?
Your silver.
The view only. Okay, I won't even be able to hardly do anything, even though I have those other permissions. It's kind of like
Okay.
this one here. You
Silver
said
with caution then.
silver with caution. Yes. But silver is also good. Watch this. If I go to system assets, we just turned on advanced add to cart. Guess what color advanced add to cart is? Okay, it's an extra. It's a positive. It's a okay. Be careful. Like there's
It's
some
good that
extra.
you need to not have information and understand before you want to give somebody that. They need to understand how to use it.
Correct. And where we're headed eventually is when we get all of our curriculum done, it'll be like this. Okay, invoices. Here's your settings. Here's your permissions. Here's kind of what they do. You know, kind of almost hand-holding you, walk you through. Say, wow, you've got 5 permissions for invoicing. Can they do it? Can they do special? Can they do admin? Can they, do payroll on it? Like there's a ton of different things, but if you don't even know that it exists, you have no clue. So we're going to keep blasting them in there because they're still coming like this, but we know eventually we're going to have to circle back around and make it much more friendly. But for right now, it's kind of just, it's just, we're trying to get it done. Okay?
So under system liabilities, are you headed to build?
Yes, let's all go to system liabilities, okay? Let's get it right at the top of our screen so it says system liabilities. We're going to add basic POs. And that's probably it for right now, okay? We're not even going to do purchase order admin or
So you're not
anything.
doing basic expense receipts?
We will, when we circle back around, we'll add that, okay?
We're only doing the PO, basic POs now.
So-
So PO was on, but to build a PO.
Okay, so PO at the top, that was under search.
Right.
That says help me build my search options, okay? So watch this, I'm going to switch to a different little page here, and if I was at some other page, look at this.
Oh, that.
I
yeah.
just turned PO on right
Okay,
here
so
under my
that
search,
top one was, okay, I
Just-
read the labels.
just for the search, okay? But to actually have that permission, I have to actually, it's under system liabilities, okay? Great, good call. So I'm just going to click on that one, basic POs. We'll probably circle back and come to some of these other ones. If you want to, you can turn them on. It doesn't
What
hurt
about
anything.
internal build POs?
Well, he's gonna bring us back. I'm not gonna turn them on because I need to practice.
Yep. Basically what it does is it kind of helps you know where things are at. Okay, so that's basically all that we need at this point. Let's go ahead and go to the bottom of the page. Say edit the payee. So now let's go back home and click on purchase orders.
And now it lets us do it.
And I did do edit.
Is there something that says purchase orders on
Okay, now what are we doing for going?
So from the home page, if you're on the map, we're going to look for POs, the purchase order spot. It's right here. So once again, some of you guys who like to do quick search, guess what? Now that you've turned PO on in your quick search, guess what you'll get to do? Search POs, search, start new ones, go to a printable, go to the advanced PO search. Like, there's very similar to just like we were doing a little bit with invoices.
So when I search PO, when I search invoice, and that's my category, it is expecting something into the box to the right.
Correct. It won't
A
do
letter or
anything.
something, doesn't do anything unless I tell it.
It'll actually give you an error. So if I go like this PO and there's nothing and I hit
So
go,
what would be the general thing? Looking for a specific PO number?
well,
age,
usually what happens is you'll end up creating your PO. And what I like to do is I'll enter it into the system, and then I take the PO number that the system assigns to it. Say it's like 33. I'll go PO 33 and I'll put a little box around it, and then I'll scan it into my system, and then that's my filing. I'm all done. But eventually you're going to probably want to get back to PO number 33.
Right.
Okay? So usually it's a numeric search, or it's a PO new, or PO home, or PO ADV, which is advanced, like some of those little things that will help you jump to the spots you want. And if you have a question,
So I can do PO home. Okay.
Yep.
So like
anywhere
when
you
I'm-
are, so like
Thank you.
go to some other page completely different, like go to invoice homepage. And then just select up here and go PO home. This is basically your virtual jump spot, okay? I'm on the invoice, sorry. PO home, go. At any point in time, you can jump to those spots.
So what, is it searching the label that's on the top? I mean, how would I know
Okay,
what to key in? I mean,
Okay,
is there
here's what
purchase
you do.
order home page, so it's.
find any page, it doesn't even matter which one it is. I'm going to go to just anything and click on help. There's a link that says quick search help.
Okay, and
Okay.
that gives me some.
This right here will kind of come down and say, let's find POs. So I would scroll down until I found POs, and it says this. This is for incoming general inventory items. Search options are numeric,
Okay.
okay, new, home, last,
So that would be
ADV,
something that you.
all, and general alpha.
But you would just, that's excellent, because now I've got no need, if I want to use the search, I know exactly where to go to figure out. what
Any
to-
help file, anywhere you are. So I could be, watch this, literally. So say I'm at home, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to the, wherever. I don't even have these permissions turned on. I'll go to the invoice homepage again. Boom, I'm at the invoice homepage, any help file. You click on it, there's a link right to the quick search.
Okay.
Okay, and then this kind of explains it. It says there's two versions, a mini and a full, which is on our classic homepage. Okay, and then it kind of explains how it basically drills itself out from that kind of target analogy, and then you find what you're looking for. You want to do barcodes? You want to do checks, customers, deposits, expenses? Like, depending on what you want, it'll tell you which key pieces you can use in this quick search. This literally is like a transport, almost think science fiction, okay? Beam me up, Scotty. That type of stuff, okay? Literally, it could play at that level.
That's good, I like it.
Okay,
Well, this is Madeline.
we are going to start our first PO, okay? Let's go ahead and say PO, and there's a little button at the top, Create New Purchase Order. First step, ask for a vendor.
So this, obviously you can't do a counter thing like this. You have to do a vendor.
Well, here's what goes on, okay? As soon as you say PO, in the background, what are you saying? I'm going to go back to the map for
I'm
just a
going to go
second,
buy something.
okay? We're going to talk theory for just a second. As soon as I say PO, okay, can it land right here in the middle all by itself?
No,
Okay?
it's got to have a portal.
It's got to have an input somewhere, okay? So right here, this is your connection to create it in, okay? Eventually, once you create this PO, it's going to end up doing something here, or possibly here if you have like freight or shipping or whatever, okay? But basically, this is your PO path. So if you want anything to get into general inventory, whether it's a service or a physical item, it has to come in through this path. But the reason that we require a vendor is, guess what it does in the accounting world?
It says I owe them money.
I might owe somebody
Yeah.
some money. This is called accounts payable. Okay, that's why we require the vendor in order to make this piece. Even if you don't do the accounting, we need it to make sure that. So, like you said, an invoice could be like this. A customer comes in, we do a shopping cart, I do an invoice, I get the items, he goes out, but I didn't really tie it to the customer. I don't care. Like I have 50 million of them coming in a day. That's a counter sale. On the incoming side, I probably owe somebody for something. So that's why we require a vendor. Okay? Great call.